So when it comes to using this book in my classroom, I would use it for a read aloud in either third or fourth grade, since it is on a fourth grade level. So because this book introduces so many different disabilities and health challenges, it would be very, very easy to use this book for the purpose of teaching about disabilities and health challenges, but I would not recommend that because then it becomes an issues book. I do a read aloud with this book during the first week of school to introduce this idea to students and to let them know that in our classroom everybody is equally welcome and equally important and will be equally respected. And I would make note of the positive interactions between the characters in this book and ask students questions about the different ways they can model their interactions with each other after the characters in this book, because the characters in this book do a really good job of treating each other with respect, even when they don't understand each other, which I think is something that's really important to impart to students, especially younger ones who are still learning how to treat people well. And after reading the book aloud, I would draw special attention to the author's note at the front. This is where the author talks about being diagnosed with juvenile diabetes when she was 7, and she specifically talks about how she knew that nobody understood her, but nobody ever bothered to ask. So I would ask students to think about a time when they felt like everybody was judging them, or they felt like nobody understood them, and I would invite them to share their thoughts if they felt comfortable sharing, so that we could open up a discussion about why it's important not to judge people and why it's important to make an effort to understand people. And then I would give them a piece of paper with the sentence starter, "I promise to," that they could fill in with something they learned from the book about treating others with kindness and respecting each other's differences. And an example of this could be, "I promise to ask my teachers to help me understand my classmates who are different from me." And using the book in this way would set the stage for students to see everybody as equal and to learn to be respectful to their classmates for the rest of the school year. And if you'll notice in all the different ways that I was talking about using this book in the classroom, there's a lot of discussion among students, and there's a lot of drawing attention to the specific ways that characters act in the book. So this book could be used to address various English language arts standards in the North Carolina Standard Course of Study for both grades 3 and 4. Some of these standards could include discussing characters' actions, referring to details and examples in the text, engaging in discussions with diverse partners, determining the main idea of a text, or paraphrasing stories or portions of the text.